Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Alexis Hill joins us, the Washoe County Commissioner, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Howdy, partner. Come on out to Churchill County's fabulous 3C Arena in Fallon, Nevada for the World Championship of Cowboy Fast Draw. See over 200 professional gunfighters from across America compete with special wax bullet ammunition for the title of the fastest gun alive. This Saturday, you can even try Cowboy Fast Draw for yourself and enjoy our car show between 10 and 2. And our Magnificent 7 finals begin at high noon on Sunday.
My whole life has been public service. It's about people. And when we work together instead of yelling at each other, we get things done. We don't always get everything we want, but that's our system of government. Give and take. We don't give up, we keep working, we keep pushing. And when we break ground on Nevada's first children's hospital, when crime rates come down, and when graduation rates improve, that motivates me. That's why I do it.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always delighted to welcome back to the program Alexis Hill. She's on the Washoe County Commission. Pleasure to have you back on the program.
Thank you for having me, Sam. I love seeing you.
Thank you. Same here. You ran for governor. What did you learn?
Oh, so much. Honestly, I loved going around the state. I'm going back to Vegas in August, so I built a lot of relationships and friendships, and I've learned so much about what this state needs and what our communities need, and Washoe County is not alone in needing resources to really serve our communities. So it was an incredible experience, and I feel like I'm really proud of what I did with so little on the resource side and endorsement side, taking on the Democratic establishment and the Republican establishment. But it was a great experience.
Have you spoken to Aaron Ford since then, and are you endorsing him?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I absolutely endorsed him the night of the election. We talked that night. We're going to get coffee when he's back in town and talk about what the state needs. So absolutely, I want to see him successful. We need a change, and he will be a better leader than Joe Lombardo, that's for sure.
Let's, and I won't dispute that, but I won't agree with that. So
fair enough,
there you
fair
go.
Enough.
So what did you learn in Southern Nevada that you didn't know before?
Well, it's a really interesting, diverse community of newcomers who have come to the community to find opportunity, and also people who have lived there for decades. And it was really wonderful getting to know people, getting to know candidates from across the state as well, and just realizing that folks really want resources for their communities, and they're starved for better governance, honestly, and I think even local officials really need support from the state to be successful. So I want to continue collaborating with Las Vegas politicians and community members to really invest in our state. So Child welfare is one of my number one things that I want to work on, as well as permanent supportive housing for our seniors who and our disabled folks who don't have the resources to live on their own.
All right. So when you say better governance, what do you mean?
I think that the state needs to give all of our local officials, all of our local governments, the attention that they deserve. We've got major issues. We're tackling homelessness issues, for example, in Washoe County, and speaking to community members in Clark County, they have the same concerns, and their homeless population is the size of a city. It's 9,000 people who are living underneath the city, who really need the state to come in and support those local governments to come together and find resources. So that's why I want to work on housing, and also why I want to work on child welfare. We have so many kids who are falling through the cracks, who need their parents either need support to get them back in their homes, or they need a proper foster care system, proper parenting, and it's really difficult to find folks who want to be a foster parent, who are ready to take on that challenge, and also support those kids who, honestly, they end up in our court system, they end up in our jail system, our homeless situation. If these kids fall through the cracks, and they deserve so much better.
To go back to the homeless thing for just a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were talking about with tunnels. For those that don't know, there are tunnels under Las Vegas that deal with the flooding that happens there, because they get a very small amount of rain, but it comes down the Spring Mountains and causes flash flooding. And over the years, a system of tunnels has been developed to move that water away. In the interim, people actually live down there. There have been several books written about that. Mm-hmm. There's a whole community that lives underground. A lot of those people don't want to leave. They don't want to be a part of the system. And that's one of the things that frustrates me when I see this in Northern Nevada as well, is where I know that there are so many services available, but people are not availing themselves of those services and are choosing to beg on the corner rather than take advantage of those services. One of the things that comes up constantly is, well, they have pets and pets are not accepted in these shelters. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, at our shelter, pets are actually allowed, partners, pets, and belongings. We remove those barriers. That is why we are seeing so much success of getting people in the shelter, getting them their IDs, getting them their housing voucher if they need that, and providing those wraparound services. We've done an incredible job in Washoe County doing that. And certainly there are people who live on the river or live on the street who are choosing to do that. Many of these people are not choosing to do that. They have a mental illness, they're in extreme poverty, they can't access their benefits, they may have behavioral health issues because of living on the street. They say that when you live on the street, obviously your addictions become worse because it's a really difficult place to live. So yes, there are some people who choose not to access these benefits, but we don't even have benefits to support these folks. Like in Las Vegas, I think that there's real opportunity to bring those governments together and create a similar resource that we have at the CARES campus down there, and support these vulnerable people who need actual a hand, not a handout, but hand up. And I spoke to so many of these former homeless folks that came out to my roundtables who had gotten their lives together. And it's because of resources that were provided to them, but they're just not enough in our state and they're not coordinated. And so I think that there's opportunity for the state to step up and support that. Additionally, the state needs to support transportation options as well. I know, the I-80 corridor, for example, going out to Story County, which we need to make sure that those workers can access transportation out there. While that corridor is going to be widened, what are workers going to do? So we at Washoe County are doing what we can to do studies about a new road in the meantime, or even rail. But we need support from the state as well on those options. And we're seeing the same issue of transportation crisis of both visitors and workers in Las Vegas, and the state needs to support that as well, and we just don't have those resources. Our Department of Transportation is smaller than Hawaii's in Nevada, and we are a modern state. So these are things that we need to advocate for, and we need real leadership on the state level for.
All right, let's start to go through this list
All right.
here. Okay. First of all, the IDs. I was told by Todd Story of the ACLU back in the day that 10% of Nevadans don't have IDs, which would mean around 300,000 people. I don't believe that number to be accurate, but I am certainly in favor of increasing my personal taxes to cover anybody that doesn't have an ID that wants one. I mean, not $1 million a year, but I mean a reasonable amount. And I think that that would go a long way to solving a lot of the problems we have with elections. If all the people that could get IDs, were able to get them free if necessary. What's been the response from the communities that you've served that needed IDs? How easy was it for them to get them?
Well, here's the hard part is when you're homeless, you lose your stuff. So you may get your ID, but you lose it. So that's why the shelter has been such a success of really wrapping folks around with a social worker, with a nurse, with someone to support them if they want to be trained in a new career. We have a partnership with the chamber as well. And so getting them all of those things, including their ID and getting them back their benefits. So many of these folks have benefits, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, but they don't have any way to access them. It's helping these folks get organized and get their lives together, essentially, so you can get them housed. And so, yes, I think that if we're going to be passing voter ID, we're all going to have to pay for IDs. I don't see how you get around that because requiring voter ID for voting, everyone is going to have to access an ID, and I'm assuming that Nevadans are going to have to pay for that. We haven't really had that discussion, but I think that that's what will come out of this ballot initiative for sure.
I don't disagree, but I think that that's a very worthwhile thing to spend money on. Because I don't see how you survive in our society without ID, because there's almost nothing that you can do without having to show an ID.
Right. And I think seniors will suffer the worst on this voter ID requirement because they will have a expired driver's license, for example, and being able to go to the DMV and access that, getting a new license is difficult for our seniors. So I think we've got to figure this out. In Nevada, we don't like to pay for anything, and that's why I ran for office, because I want to see us actually just modernize our tax code and pay for basic services. That could be one of the many things that we pay for to make sure that Nevadans are successful.
Well, I think that in the form of cutting government bureaucracy, if it's so difficult to get an ID, that we need to figure out a way that it's not so difficult to get an ID and move on from there. Transportation. Okay, so you brought up in particular the situation with Story County and Reno Sparks. I saw Austin Osborne did an interview with the Northern Nevada Business Weekly with Rob Sabo, where he talked about the idea that they're going to build a parallel road to I-80 potentially.
That's what we're looking at.
With the help of Tesla. So I hadn't heard about that until Rob's article. Is that going to be the way it's going to be paid? Is Story and Tesla, rather?
Well, we are actually having a meeting with Story County. I'm the chair of the Washoe RTC, and we'll probably be meeting with them to discuss this new route and this new road. We're going to have to do environmental studies to see where the road will go, but we do not want to stop our community from being successful. And this I-80 corridor, although very good that we received those federal funds, it's going to be really difficult for workers to get out there, and that could be a huge economic crisis, honestly, for our county if we do not figure that out. So that's going to be a lot of leadership on the Washoe RTC side and Story County side, and finding those private partners, because I don't think Tesla can pay for the whole road, but we certainly can talk to these folks. I mean, many of them are still not paying taxes to do business in our state. So we need to see if folks can pay their fair share and help us with this potential crisis.
Okay, so to be fair, they may not be paying abated taxes as part of a deal to come here. So that's how we got those companies, because states are competing all over to be able to get these companies to locate. But the tax revenue that's being spent in Washoe County, Reno, and Sparks is huge from the employees who are not living in Story County but are living in these other jurisdictions. They're spending a lot of money buying homes, vehicles, groceries, whatever it might be, and that revenue is helping, is it not?
I mean, certainly, and I know that Story County, I'm not, here to say that Trick was a mistake or anything like that, and doing these economic incentives is necessarily a mistake, but it's not actually covering the real costs of doing business, because Washoe RTC, we cannot pay for that road ourselves. We have got to come together and find partnerships to do that, because your gas tax, your sales tax is not going to pay for it. So that's another reason why we're looking at that EV fee, because our electric vehicle users, which I'm one of them.
Me too.
Okay, we're not paying our fair share.
Right, but don't you? Okay, so I'm with you on this. I am fine if they come up with an equitable fee that would go on registration every year based on the mileage that I drive, that would be equivalent to what a gas car driver pays. I'm fine with that, and I think that most people would be fine with that as well.
Good.
I think that would be
We're
reasonable.
bringing it to you. It will be on the ballot in November. It's an advisory question that we want to see if the legislature, if we pass that, which I think we will, because people do believe that EV users and hybrid users should pay their fair share. If you're paying at the pump, you want to make sure everyone else is paying their fair share too. But hopefully we can bring that to the legislature and see how we could create additional revenues in Washoe County to pay for new roads like that, to rehab our roads. We're seeing our gas tax reduce because people are not paying for as much gas because our cars are more efficient, which is awesome, but we're not able to keep up with the costs of doing business. So that's just one of many examples. But if you were to pay your property tax or your sales tax of these businesses who are coming in, that would also help us pay for essential services like these roads. So I think that that's where we're having a difficult time as a state, is figuring out how do we pay for things? How do we actually act like the modern state that we are, and make sure we're not falling behind, and make sure that we can continue to recruit these companies? Because if we're last in schools, if we have transportation issues, if we have other issues of quality of life issues, why would folks want to come to the state? So I think that that's where the investment, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, and just to point out that RTC of Southern Nevada and Northern Nevada both have an increase built into the price of gas through taxes to match inflation. And so that's why if you're in Carson City, you're paying a lot less than you are in Washoe County. Frankly, I'm fine with that because I think our roads are doing well.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a break. We'll come right back with Alexis Hill after this timeout.
Thank you.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
2025 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
This summer, all roads lead to Tamarack Casino for trucks or bucks. Win up to $5,000 in cash every week. Buckle up and win a brand new Tundra or up to $45,000 in cash. Shift the winning and your good times into high gear at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Alexis Hill. She sits on the Washoe County Commission, ran for governor, and ran as a Democratic Socialist.
I did not run as a Democratic
No?
Socialist. I'm a Democrat, my friend. I actually just ran to make sure that people pay their fair share in this state and talk about the real issues of how all of our local governments and the state will be running into deficits by 2030.
Okay, so let's be clear about this because I don't want to be wrong. So at no point did you feel that you were far enough to the left to be called a Democratic Socialist?
No, I mean,
more of a Bernie Sanders.
Modernizing our tax code does not make me a socialist.
Okay.
It makes me a practical elected official who's trying to advocate for our communities who need resources.
Okay, but do you feel that you were running further to the left than others?
I mean, that's what certainly the media said and how I was
Okay, so
being
I'm not
covered.
crazy here.
Well, yes, I don't think you're crazy, but I never ran as a Democratic Socialist. I ran as a Democrat. I believe that Democrats are the party that help people. And as a county commissioner, I'm seeing the cracks in the foundation of our state, and I want to actually advocate for better governance on all levels, which includes people paying their fair share. And we've missed some major opportunities to see how we can invest in our schools, in our social services, in our infrastructure to create great paying private jobs. So I think that there's real opportunity for that change, and I'll continue to advocate for that.
Okay. Alexis Hill is not a Democratic Socialist. We'll take another break and we'll be right back.
Light up your July at the Carson Valley Inn. Win up to $25,000 in the All-American Progressive giveaways. $1,500 winner guaranteed each drawing night. And $30,000 in grand prize giveaways. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
Possessing this much fentanyl used to be prosecuted as drug trafficking. Then Aaron Ford lobbied to change it to 100 grams, enough to kill 300,000 children. Calling it criminal justice reform, said it was important to him. And Ford ordered criminals released without bail and given probation instead of jail time. They called it a progressive wish list. Tell Aaron Ford his progressive wish list isn't reform. It's dangerous.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Alexis Hill, the Washoe County Commissioner, who is not a Democratic Socialist. As you look at New York and some of the other areas that have elected Democratic Socialists, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think that people want to elect politicians who get things done. And it's really discouraging to, go out there, cast your vote, support an elected official who doesn't really want to bring change to a community, who doesn't want to, who talks a big game, who doesn't do anything. And so I will say any elected official who can get things done, who can actually perform for their communities, who can, lay out a platform and actually execute on it, I admire them. I think that is the way that we should expect all of our elected officials to act. And so whether you're a Democratic Socialist and you ran on free childcare, which is what happened in New York, and they're actually executing on that plan, or whether you're a Republican and you ran on something else and you're trying to get that done, I think that's where people feel like the system is broken in America, and why you've seen folks turn to Trump, for example, who is like, break it down and blow it up. I don't believe in that. I actually believe in getting in there and making great change and actually building something. So, but I understand that frustration, and we saw that in Nevada. People were like, I want to elect someone who's going to make sure that I can afford my groceries. I want to elect someone who is going to make sure that I get a great paying job. And so I think that's the frustration we're seeing, and I think that we need to elect elected officials who are actually going to do things for our communities.
So much more to talk about, but we are out of time today. Come back soon.
Okay, thank you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Alexis, and we'll be right back.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
At Nevada Urban Indians in Reno, your health is our priority. Our medical clinic welcomes everyone. We accept all insurances, ensuring quality care is within reach. Nevada Urban Indians, your partners in health.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Nevada Newsmakers is available as a podcast. It's also available on YouTube anytime you want to watch or listen. Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers.